Brett Dawson from Sellout Crowd here at Paycom Center, where the Thunder is a 127-123 winner against the Boston Celtics. Look, this is an OKC team that you look over the past few weeks has beaten reigning NBA champion Denver twice in Denver. It's beaten the best team in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves, here at Paycom Center. Now the best team in the East, the Boston Celtics. And this looks like a team that is really starting to find itself, even with this youth. Yes, there's a tough stretch coming up. Yes, January is going to be brutal. Yes, there are all these back-to-backs, including a game tomorrow in Atlanta. But you watch this team play, and you think it's really starting to find something. Tonight, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just unstoppable for 3 quarters. He scores 33 of his 36 through those first 3 quarters. And then Boston makes a nice adjustment. Shai had been lighting up 2 of the best perimeter defenders in the league, Derek White and Drew Holiday. Really played Drew Holiday off the floor, which is really difficult to do. So Boston made a change. They went to Jason Tatum, put a bigger guy on Shai, gave him a little bigger target to shoot over, kept him from getting everywhere he wanted to get. He wasn't gliding into the paint the way he was against some other guys, and kind of cut that off a little. Shai only gets 3 points in the fourth quarter, doesn't make any shots. He was 3 for 4 from the free throw line, including 2 really big ones late on a night when he was not shooting the free throw well. But he makes the right reads. He sets up Chet Holmgren for a couple of threes, and he lets some other guys shine. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, had a big step-back basket late to kind of ice the game. Josh Giddey made a couple of free throws. He had a really big game as Boston backed off him, let him shoot. He made 4 3-pointers. This is a team that just seems to come at you in different ways, and on a night when Shai is unstoppable and then suddenly he's not, still finding a way to win. A really impressive win for this team, and still some learning experiences too. There's really a chance for OKC in this game with the way it played in the third quarter, the way its defense played, locked down, to blow this thing open. They had a chance to take care of Boston the way they've taken care of so many good teams this season, and yet the Celtics both, because they're really good, and probably because the Thunder didn't close out the game great, they made this a much more competitive game than it had to be. So OKC is going to walk away from this with a chance to learn a lot about itself, a chance to go back and look at that fourth quarter, maybe not immediately because they got to turn around and play again, but to go back and look and see some things that they could have been a little tighter on, could have cleaned up a little bit, and maybe had a chance to win with a little less drama. But this was a great game between 2 of the best teams in the league, and there's just no substitute for that kind of experience. This is a team we can't judge until the playoffs, but we have to judge on regular season body of work for right now. Until they get into the playoffs and they prove something, it's going to be a young and unproven team. But all you can do right now is judge who are they beating, and who is beating them. And right now, not much of anybody can beat them. The Los Angeles Lakers, the last team to do it. OKC is on a great stretch against a really tough run of the schedule. And it's going to get harder. Look, they're not going to play great teams on this road trip. They will play Miami next week, but they're going to start it off in Atlanta. But that's the second night of a back-to-back against a struggling Hawks team that's not been good at home, that's really going to want a home win, and will have a chance, against a high-profile team now, a team that's going to be circled on schedules. That'll be a test, even against a team that has not performed up to expectations this year. Those sometimes can be the most dangerous teams. They're going to go to Brooklyn. That's a team, again, because of the variance in its 3-point shooting, shoots so many that it can get hot and have a chance to beat you. But it's not a team that you should lose to. They're going to go to Miami and get a really good test against a more veteran team, a team that's accustomed to winning, that has a winning culture. They're going to play the Wizards on this trip as well, and that's before the Miami game, a game they should go in and win. This will be another test of their maturity, but this is a team that's passed so many of those tests. Think about the way they beat Golden State and came back and rolled Portland. Think about the trap games on the schedule that they've really managed to avoid, and in some cases really dominate. So this is a team that's playing great, and really tonight was one of those nights. A lot of Celtics fans in the building that elevated the Thunder crowd. This is one of those games that, the atmosphere has felt back several times this year, and this was really one of them. This was one of those games that felt special. You saw so many people on social media complaining that this wasn't a national TV game because it is that kind of caliber of game. These are just 2 of the very best teams in the NBA, and as unlikely as that was, 32 games in for the Thunder when we thought about it going into the season, that's the reality right now. They're playing like one of the very best teams in the league. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has an MVP case, and he's making it really strong. Chet Holmgren looks like the Rookie of the Year. Jalen Williams is emerging. Big game out of all those guys tonight. Great win for the Thunder. Now this road trip that starts in Atlanta, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how this very difficult January goes. We'll have coverage of those games here on my YouTube page and at selloutcrowd.com, so make sure you check it out.